What's good, you guys? So today I'm going to teach you how to upload that single that you've been sitting on forever, that album that you just been waiting for the right time. Well, the time is now, my friend. It's super easy with DistroKid, and I use DistroKid for all my releases. Not that anybody wants to listen to what I got to put out. But I tell you what I'm not doing. I'm not sending my CD off for print to get 100 copies back to sell out of my trunk. I'll tell you that. I'm giving people a link that makes it super easy to find your music on all the streaming platforms because that's what people use, man. People ain't buying CDs out your old trunk. No one's doing that anymore, bruh. Time to go to streaming. Time to put your music out right now. Quit procrastinating. It's super cheap, super easy. So let's get into it. So here we are on DistroKid. This is a medium that I use to upload all of my music. It's cheap, $20 a year to upload unlimited amount of music, and you keep all the profits, my friend. Click the link in the description below for a 7% discount. But here are all of the benefits of DistroKid. You can read it through when you go to distrokid.com right now. After this video, after I show you how to do it. So we're gonna log in and I'll show you how to upload to DistroKid. Okay, so this is the dashboard and this is the tracks that I've uploaded through DistroKid. These three are albums, and this is a single. I'm gonna upload a single that nobody has heard. If you stick around long enough, I might play it. All right, so you're gonna click upload, and these are all of the services that DistroKid distributes their music to. Spotify, Apple Music, iTunes, the big ones, man. Google Play, YouTube Music, Amazon. A lot of people use one of these streaming services to listen to music on a regular basis. So instead of saying like, hey, go to my YouTube, which is what a lot of people do nowadays, they just upload their song with a little graphic on YouTube, and that's what they use, and they send people to YouTube. Why don't you send them to the place where they already listen to music? And I'll show you how to give one link if you're sending someone online where they can click that and they can choose all of these services to listen to your track. So I'm gonna go down here. Number of songs, 1. It's a single. Previously released, no. Here's my artist name. I'm already in Spotify. I've already linked that up. If you're not already in these two platforms, they'll give you some links to link those to DistroKid and Spotify, or DistroKid and Apple Music together. Release date, dude, it's gonna be today. I'm just gonna do it. I'm not no future date. I'm doing it today, February 22nd, 2021, because I'm tired of sitting on this track, really. Do I want to allow people to pre-order? I mean, I don't need to because I'm releasing it today, but you want to maximize the dollar amount, you can start promoting your music beforehand and let people pre-order before the release date, or pre-download, or pre-save, pre-order if it's on iTunes. Record label, Landmark Music, but you can put it whatever. I mean, you can put yourself, your own name. And then comes the album cover. So here's what I do for album covers, right? You got to pay attention to these prompts right here. Don't increase the size of smaller images because it will pixelate the picture. Make sure the optimal size, 3000 by 3000 square, just like any other regular album cover. What I use is like FIVERR. If I want to create something or want something created, dude, I just go on FIVERR and find some cheap labor, and most people do a pretty good job. I mean, I used, for the last album, I used FIVERR for the Hooked album, and I had the final product back to me in like 3 days. So I was happy. The guy made it exactly how I wanted it. So it's pretty cool. And so I'm going to upload an image here. I made this cover myself. Simple. Silhouette, Dead Boy, that's the name of the song. And it's 3000 by 3000. I use Photoshop to make this. But like I said, FIVERR is a good source to find some cheap labor for a good album cover. Pretty decent. I think my album cover for the Hooked album cost $15, $18, something like that. So a pretty quick turnaround, not too complicated. So use that as a source if you're looking for someone to make an album cover for you. Keep it moving. Language is English. Primary genre. I'm gonna go with hip hop rap. Secondary genre, I don't really think there is, but it doesn't hurt to find a second one. Fitness and workout. I don't know. Probably. Maybe. I'll throw that in there because I could listen to this while I'm working out because it's kind of hot. All right, so on to the naming of the track. Track title is called Dead Boy. And to give you some references here, if you need an example of how to feature artists, parts, or volumes, they give you some guidance on how to type those into the song title to do it correctly. So just read through these if you have some questions about how to title it here and how it should show up in the streaming platforms. Next up is the audio file. Right here, they have a list of all the accepted file types. I'm going to tell you that a mastered wave is the best way to go. Now, if you have issues with mastering, you don't have anyone to master your tracks, you can use a secondary service like LANDR. I use LANDR for my mastering. I kind of have my mastering down now. I use Isotope tools to master my own stuff, and so I don't really need to use LANDR anymore, but sometimes I use LANDR as a reference to compare to what I've done and how I've mastered my track, and it's pretty close. Sometimes LANDR makes it better, sometimes it makes it worse, but it all depends on the mix. And if you're using a service like LANDR, you have to make sure that your mix is good. And they actually, I'll show you some screenshots, they give tips on why you have to mix your stuff right before you throw it up to LANDR. Like this right here. This was my favorite thing that I saw. It says, ask any mastering engineer and they'll say the same thing. If a mix comes in without headroom, there's no room left for improvement. So they offer tips and tricks on how to mix your stuff before sending it to them so that they are able to master your track and it's going to sound a lot better. So if you want to use a secondary service like LANDR to master your tracks, got to make sure the mix is right. That's probably the most important thing. So you're going to have to either pay someone to mix it or get really good at mixing yourself. Anyways, back to the file upload. So I use LANDR actually to master this track, downloaded the master, and my settings were open medium if you're curious. So now it comes down to the credits. Songwriter. I wrote the song or managed the songwriter. That's me. I wrote it. Songwriter's real name, and this is important because of payment. So put my stuff in here. Explicit lyrics? No, there are no lyrics. Is this a radio edit? No, because it's clean. But if you do have explicit lyrics or there is explicit content, you can upload two different versions of the song, a clean and an explicit version as well. Is this an instrumental? Yes, the song is an instrumental and contains no lyrics, mastered for iTunes. This one's a tricky one. So Apple has a specific mastering house for iTunes. I don't know much about it, to be honest. If I click yes, it's going to ask you email address of Apple approved MFIT mastering house. So obviously I'm not an Apple approved MFIT mastering house, so this answer is going to be no. But it's not going to change the quality of the song that's on iTunes. It's just going to use the master that you currently have uploaded. And then here, preview clip start time. So let streaming services decide or let me specify when the good part starts. So this is really good for like TikTok, for instance. You know, all the 15-second dance clips that people do for songs. If you specify where that starts, that's what's going to be looped on TikTok. So if you have a lyric or something that you feel like is going to go viral, you can start that you can choose a start time for that song. For instance, that one song, by, I forget his name, something Honcho. It starts at the beginning of the song. I don't know if they did that or not. That's just what the streaming service decided is the good part of the song, and that's what people use whenever they're doing that TikTok. I don't know what the dance is because I'm an old man and I shouldn't be doing that stuff. So I'm just going to let streaming services aside because I don't know. I don't really have a goal with this when it comes to like social media. So I just want to put my music out. So I'm just going to leave that as is. Track price. So if someone wants to purchase the track, you can choose the price. I'm just going to leave it at 99 cents. Pretty much standard. It's $1. Here comes the extra. YouTube Content ID. Okay, so when it comes to DMCAs, right? If you enable something like YouTube Content ID and people want to use your music to stream in the background, right? So say you have your song gets put on a playlist that people like to stream, right? YouTube Content ID, it's going to identify that if they stream on YouTube, and they're going to take away their revenue. Now, you're going to get paid, but that is not a DMCA friendly song. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword here. Like if your music is going to be put out on a streaming service or if your music is going to be put out through a distribution service like Epidemic Sound, right? They basically take care of all this, so people don't get flagged. But if you're just like a regular person that's uploading music through DistroKid and you want to keep it DMCA free for YouTube, you might want to leave that box unchecked. But at the same time, your music could be used in someone else's video, and you could gain the revenue from that. So this is a personal choice right here. I started not using this because I would like for my stuff to be DMCA free. If any of my music gets put on a Spotify playlist, and a Twitch streamer likes to stream Spotify stuff, or a YouTube streamer likes to stream stuff, like I don't want to run the risk of that song getting removed from that playlist. So there's a fine line here. It's a weird one. And actually, I may be wrong about all of this, but I'm pretty sure I'm right about how this option works with DMCA and streaming rights and YouTube Content ID. I'm pretty sure that's exactly how it works. And if you have any questions about YouTube Content ID, you can watch this right here. So these store maximizer, I don't typically use that. You can read through it on your own. Social phone number, don't use that. But this right here, this is cool. Shazam and Siri, $1 a year for this specific service per song or per album. Make it easy for people to identify this single if they hear it playing on the radio, TV, in stores, restaurants, whatever. For whatever reason, you could put on some playlist that's playing along in a store, or it's put on the radio, whatever, or someone else is playing it and they want to know what that song is without having to bug you. They can Shazam or use iPhone Siri to identify your song and find it. So I typically do this because I Shazam a lot of stuff that I hear out in public. Title master, what's Title? It's a kid. I'm kidding. I kid. But Tidal has their own way of doing their own stuff, and you can read through that here. If you want to listen to hi-fi stuff, you can go to Tidal. And then right here, this is an optional thing. Leave a legacy. DistroKid will never delete this single, even if you cancel your account or your credit card is declined. So here's the thing with DistroKid: as soon as you stop subscribing to their service, your music does not stay with DistroKid. It gets taken down or blocked or what. I don't know how that works. So that's the only downside to this service that I see. But they give you a way out. Leave a legacy. $29, one-time fee, non-recurring. If you click this, it will charge you $29, but DistroKid will never delete the single even if you cancel your account. So that's the only downside that I see to the service, is if you discontinue the service, your music gets taken down. But for $20 a year, I mean, come on. I spend $20 every time I walk into a Speedway, like somehow come out with $20 worth of snacks and drinks, while I'm pumping gas. You have to look at it as a long-term investment if you're going to use DistroKid. But if you're unsure of the service that you're going to use in the future, or you want to move somewhere else, just hit leave a legacy and pay that one-time $30 fee. And even if you cancel your account, everything will still stay there. I plan on staying around for a while, so I'm not going to worry about that. And then important check boxes, these are all mandatory. I selected YouTube Music as a store, so I won't email DistroKid later asking, why'd you upload my music to YouTube? Okay, that's what they said, not me. But obviously, they get a lot of emails about that. I recorded this music. I'm not authorized to sell in stores. I'm not using any other artist names, song titles, whatever. I've read this. Yes, I have. Then click done. So it's uploading my artwork, uploading my track. Boom. That easy. I mean, they say it right there. That was easy, wasn't it? Yes, it was. This is why I use the service, because it's super simple, super easy. When will this single be released? It says give stores up to a week to be able to push your album out to all the streaming services. But in my experience, it's been fairly quick. Like next day. I mean, it says right here sometimes same day, but not always. For Spotify, new deliveries will take at least 5 business. I typically listen to Spotify. That's my streaming service of choice. But I find that it's usually up sooner than that. So right here, it says, we made a pre-save page to help you get more listeners. Let's see what that looks like. Dead Boy. Boom. Right? So this is the link that you'll send people. Hey, I got a new single out. You give them the Spotify pre-save link. So they actually can hit that. It'll pre-save. So when it goes live in Spotify, it'll show up on their list of songs to listen to. So you're pretty much there. I'm going to click on Teams and show you how to give credits properly to make sure they get paid. So if I wanted to add someone else that, contributed to this track, and say they, you decide, these are your terms, I want to give them 25%, right? I get 75%, they get 25%. I can select a new team member, add someone new, and then type in their email address. What happens here, you send this person an email. DistroKid says, hey, this person is giving you credit, and they just need to gather some information so they know where to send that payment to. And then that person can log into DistroKid, create an account, and then take their money. They don't have to have an account to withdraw their earnings from the song. Like it's set up to automatically go to them, and then they have to set up their bank account if they want, an automatic withdrawal, or to withdraw money from the revenue that's generated from the song. So that's how you do that here. And you can split this song up however you want, however many ways, and do all the splits and revenue sharing here under Teams. All right, so that's it, man. You see your single here, ready to be distributed. Yellow means it's processing, so it's going to take some time. But these are all the services that it's being sent to. And that's it. It's that simple, man. Get your people paid using DistroKid Teams. And there's your single. You did it. And it took less than, if I wasn't sitting here talking you guys' ears off, it probably would have taken me 5 minutes to do it. So it really is that simple. It's cheap, $20 a year. That's why I use DistroKid, because it really is a really good service. And so do you guys want to hear this? You know what? I normally play, for the people that know me and like my music, this one, you know what I'm saying? This one's a little different. This one's a banger, boy. But as I normally do after all of my videos, like I play the finished track. So I'll let you guys, I'm gonna pull up the project file so you can see the project file as I play it. So I'm gonna play the master on top so you guys can kind of really hear the finished product. But this is the project, Dead Boy, DistroKid. Link in the description below if you want to sign up. 7% off the first year. 7% off $20 isn't that much, but it's something, get started and upload your music today. If you upload something using DistroKid, because of this video, I want you to put your link down in the description, and I'm going to see if you actually uploaded your song after this date. I'm going to check. So don't be scamming me, bro. I want to see and listen to you guys' music, and I hope that this video helps somebody, release some stuff that they've been sitting on. So anyways, without further ado, Dead Boy, out on all streaming platforms by the time you see this, maybe, possibly, it could be. All right, here we go.
Back from the dead, boy. Back from the dead, boy. Back from the dead. Back from the dead, boy. Back from the dead, boy. Back from the dead. Dead, boy. Back from the